All right, let's dive in.
Yeah.
We're talking Peplum power today, specifically Peplum dresses for the office.
Yeah.
But we're going beyond just, flattering. We're getting strategic,
Yeah.
especially for, well, for our plus-size fashionistas out there.
Okay, yeah.
So our sources for this deep dive, a conversation between a fashion expert and a stylist who are, like, huge advocates for this whole Peplum look.
Yeah.
I'm super curious to see what kind of gems we uncover,
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
What I found interesting right off the bat was how much they emphasize the structure of a peplum dress. It's not just about, following a trend.
Right, right. It's not just about the flair. It's like how all the elements work together.
Yeah, exactly. Like they talk about how that fitted bodice, right?
Right.
And then the fabric flaring out from the waist, how that combination really creates that hourglass look.
For sure. Creates that shape,
Yeah, and that can be, like, seriously confidence boosting.
Yeah. And the stylist mentions, for plus-size women especially, this can be, like, really great. Like it highlights your curves, obviously, right? But then it also subtly kind of minimizes the tummy area.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like it draws attention to the parts you want to highlight.
Exactly, exactly. And I think that's so important, when you're dressing for the office or just, in general.
Yeah, speaking of versatility, right? They were talking about how peplum styles themselves can be, like, pretty versatile.
Totally, yeah.
The flair can be subtle or it can be dramatic. Just depends what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's not one size fits all, right?
Yeah.
It really depends on your style. Okay, so let's get into some specifics here. Let's talk black peplum dresses.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, black's such a classic in any office setting, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it just, the expert called it the epitome of professionalism. And, I have to agree, especially paired with the structure of a peplum dress. It creates those clean lines, just screams, I'm in charge.
Yes, instant boss vibes.
Exactly.
It's like you're ready to give a presentation, or lead a meeting or...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good look for sure.
And what I loved is that the stylist was like, okay, black, it's a blank canvas.
Yeah.
You can accessorize, make it your own. Like you could add a big necklace, a fun belt, even like a pop of color with your bag.
I love that.
Yeah.
I actually hadn't even thought about it that way. It just opens up like a whole world of possibilities, because people always say black is boring,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have to be.
Mm.
And what else I love about black?
What's that?
You can go straight from the office, to like dinner or drinks, and it still works.
Oh, yeah, totally. So now the million-dollar question, how do we style it? How do we style a black peplum dress for the office?
Right. We need the tips.
Yeah, and both of them, the expert and the stylist, they emphasize keeping the focus on the silhouette. They both suggest, like, clean tailoring, modest neckline, like a bateau or a V-neck.
And pointed toe heels.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like that would like lengthen the leg.
Yes. Adds to that whole, like, streamlined look.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The stylist also had this really cool tip about playing with textures.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
She's like, think about crepe or ponte
Okay.
for a classic feel.
Classic.
Or even like lace or satin if you want something a little more, luxurious.
Okay, I like that. I'm getting ideas already.
Good. And then, of course, can't forget the power of a good blazer,
Oh, yeah.
a tailored blazer.
Like a nice fitted blazer.
Exactly. It just adds that, that layer of, I don't know, professionalism.
Oh, for sure.
Now, if you're someone who's finding black, like, maybe a bit intense,
Okay, yeah.
our stylist actually suggests navy as kind of like a softer alternative.
Oh, okay. I can see that. It's still elegant and confident,
Mm,
but like maybe a touch more approachable.
exactly. And
Yeah.
they both agree that it's super flattering on, pretty much any skin tone.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that as much.
True.
Yeah.
But does it have the same like slimming effect that black does?
According to the stylist, absolutely. She describes it as having a similar slimming effect, but, with a softer, more welcoming vibe.
I like that. Okay, navy is officially on my radar now.
Yeah.
But how do we style a navy peplum dress for
Yeah.
the office? What are the go-to moves there?
Okay, so they're thinking silver or pearl accessories,
Okay.
a nice, structured handbag in a neutral tone,
Okay.
and then you can't go wrong with classic pumps.
Okay. So far, so good. This is giving me very like classic chic vibes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. What if I want to add a little more personality to the look?
Oh, she's all about it.
Okay, good.
She actually suggests a patterned scarf
Oh.
or like maybe some statement earrings. And just like with the black dress, big fan of layering.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Would, like, a crisp white or cream blazer look good with navy?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Or if your office is a little more on the casual side, maybe like a soft cardigan. Something that complements the navy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm, like, loving these ideas. This is making me want to, like, rethink my entire work wardrobe.
Right. So many possibilities.
So many. Okay, so now we're getting to a color that I gotta admit,
Okay.
I don't usually think of it for work.
Yeah.
Brown.
Brown.
Interesting.
I know. It's not like my typical go-to.
I get it.
But I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Okay, so the fashion expert really loves brown because she feels like it brings this, like, warmth and richness to the outfit while still, remaining office appropriate.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Like, it's not as harsh as black,
Right.
but it's still sophisticated.
Exactly. It's like, it has this, like, subtle elegance to it.
It does. And what I thought was really interesting is the stylist also mentioned how brown actually complements a wide range of skin tones.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's something I wouldn't have thought about.
Yeah. So she was like, it's a really great alternative to, those darker colors while still offering a slimming effect.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm seeing it now. Is there, like, a particular shade of brown they recommend?
Yeah, the stylist specifically mentions, like, a deep chocolate brown.
Oh, okay.
She's like, it can be really luxurious, especially when you pair it with, like, gold or, like, earth-toned accessories.
Oh, okay. I can picture that.
Yeah.
Like a chocolate brown peplum dress with, like, some gold jewelry, maybe a tan handbag.
Oh, yeah. So are you on Team Brown Peplum now?
I think I might be. But I need those styling tips. Like, how do we rock a brown peplum dress at the office? I need the deets.
Okay, hold on. She suggests, keeping the overall look cohesive by sticking to neutral accessories, much like we talked about with black and navy.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, like, tans, beiges.
Exactly. She recommends, like, a tan or beige belt,
Okay.
nude heels or boots. And then if you want a little touch of color, you could throw in a scarf or a handbag in, like maybe a mustard or an olive.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. A little pop of color.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing, like, with the others, texture's a big deal here too, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So the stylist mentions, like, tweed or wool
Okay.
for fall and winter. But then for, spring and summer, you can go with those lighter fabrics, like maybe a cotton or a linen.
So many options.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, like, a touch of gold jewelry never hurts with brown.
Never hurts. Always a good idea. Okay, so before we move on to some more general peplum tips, I wanna just circle back. With all the color talk, anything, like, particularly standing out to you?
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised by how much I'm loving the idea of a brown peplum dress.
Yeah.
Like, I never would have considered it before.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I need this in my life.
Good. I love a good style evolution,
Yeah, I know, right? And I'm also, like, just struck by, with all of them, how important fit and tailoring seem to be for really making this style work.
You are so right. They both, like, really hammered home the importance of fit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about finding the right color or fabric. It's making sure that peplum, like, hits in all the right places.
Hits in all the right places.
Exactly. And they both encourage, like, don't be afraid to get it tailored.
Yeah.
Like, a good tailor can work wonders.
A good tailor can make all the difference. So true.
So before we move on, let's just do a quick recap. Like, why is peplum so flattering? And, especially for plus-size women, why is it such a powerful choice?
All right, so we started by, like, really unpacking the structure of a peplum dress.
Yeah.
It's all about that fitted bodice and the flared fabric and how that combo, like, creates that hourglass shape.
Yeah, it's like magic.
It is. And we talked about, how this design is particularly flattering for plus-size women because it accentuates curves, but then also subtly minimizes the tummy area.
Right, best of both worlds.
Exactly. Then we jumped into the world of color. Explored the classic power of black, the timeless elegance of navy, and the unexpected warmth of brown.
Who knew?
I know. And we also talked about, how to style each color for maximum impact in the office. And I think, like, the key takeaway there was that fit, tailoring, and accessorizing can make all the difference.
Oh, for sure.
We've covered a lot of ground already, but there's still so much more to explore in the world of peplum. Before we move on to part 2, we want to leave you with a thought to ponder.
Okay, hit us with it.
Look at a peplum dress you already own.
All right.
Or one you've been eyeing.
Mm-hmm.
And think about how you could style it differently based on what we've talked about today.
Yeah. Get creative.
Right. Would you switch up the accessories? Maybe try a new color combination?
Ooh, I like that.
Would you add a blazer or cardigan? Create a whole new vibe.
Yes.
We want to hear your ideas. Head over to our website or social media. You know,
Yeah.
share your Peplum styling inspiration.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
We'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll be delving even deeper into the world of Peplum dresses. Until then, happy styling.
Bye for now.
Welcome back to our Peplum Deep Dive. One thing that really struck me in that last part was how much they both, the expert and the stylist, emphasized how transformative a well-structured Peplum dress can be.
It's pretty cool how they go beyond just the peplum, and talk about the importance of the whole silhouette.
Yeah, like how that fitted bodice with the, strategic flare can create that hourglass shape, even if that's not your natural body type.
Totally. It's like you can have hourglass confidence no matter what.
I love that.
Yeah.
And the expert made it clear that Peplum isn't just for one body type.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like whether you're pear-shaped, apple-shaped, or, have that classic hourglass figure, there's a peplum dress out there that will flatter your shape.
So true. Now, I'm remembering how the stylist talked about black peplum dresses as being a blank canvas for accessorizing. What were some of her suggestions for making that classic black peplum your own?
Oh, she had some great ones. For one, she suggested adding a sleek belt to really make that waist stand out.
Ooh, I love a good belt.
Yeah.
Such a simple way to add some, definition.
Right. And she also talked about layering a tailored blazer on top for extra sophistication.
Classic. That's perfect for those days when you need to, channel your inner boss.
Totally. And don't forget jewelry. She loves a statement necklace or a pair of eye-catching earrings to really elevate the whole look.
And I'm a big fan of her suggestion to play with textures, too. Do you remember what fabric she mentioned?
Let's see. She talked about crepe or ponte if you're going for that more structured classic feel.
Yeah.
And then lace or satin if you want something a little more luxurious.
Ooh, I love all of those. I think what's really sticking with me is that idea of finding the right combination of structure and texture to create that perfect peplum look for you, for your style and your workplace.
It's about making it your own, for sure. Okay, let's shift gears for a sec and talk navy peplum dresses. What stood out to you about the stylist's take on navy?
Well, she called it timelessly elegant, which I think is spot on.
Yeah.
It's classic and professional. But I also thought it was interesting that she sees navy as less formal than black.
Right. It's like that perfect middle ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
Approachable, but still professional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like black navy flatters a wide range of skin tones.
Yes. And I think it's worth pointing out that the fashion expert highlighted how versatile navy is across seasons. Like you can easily take a navy peplum dress from summer to winter with a few styling tweaks.
Okay, now I'm really interested. How do you do that? What kind of styling magic are we talking about?
She gave a great example. You could pair it with nude heels and some gold jewelry for summer. Then when it gets colder, switch to tights and ankle boots.
Oh, that's so smart.
Right. Easy peasy. And of course, we can't forget about layering. Just like with black, the stylist had some great tips for layering navy peplum dresses.
Well, layering is key. What did she recommend?
Well, for a crisp, contrasting look, she suggested a white or cream blazer. But if your office is a little more laid back, a soft cardigan would also look beautiful.
I love both of those options. It's amazing how a simple layer can totally change the feel of an outfit.
Totally. The key, as she said, is to choose a layering piece that complements the navy, but doesn't, overpower the dress.
Okay, I'm taking notes. All right, now on to a color that I'll admit I was a little skeptical about at first. Brown.
Yeah, I get it. Brown isn't always the first color we think of for the office, but I think the expert and the stylist made a really good case for why it deserves a spot in our work wardrobes.
Okay, I'm ready to be convinced. What were their arguments?
Well, the fashion expert loves brown for the warmth and richness it brings to an outfit. They said it's less formal than black, but still sophisticated and professional.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's like brown has this quiet elegance that could totally work for the office.
Exactly. And remember how the stylist pointed out that brown complements a wide range of skin tones? She even said it was a great alternative to those darker colors if you're looking for something different but still want that slimming effect.
That's true. And brown doesn't have to be boring either. I mean, the stylist specifically called out a deep chocolate brown and said it could look super luxurious, especially with gold or earth-toned accessories.
I can totally picture that. A rich chocolate brown peplum dress with a simple gold necklace and maybe a tan belt. So chic.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm sold on brown. But now I need those expert styling tips. how do we make a brown peplum dress work for the office?
Well, the expert suggests sticking with neutral accessories for a cohesive look, kind of like what we talked about with black and navy.
Okay, so tans and beiges would be good bets. What about specific accessories?
They recommend a tan or beige belt, nude heels, or boots. And if you want a pop of color, you could add a scarf or handbag in a contrasting shade like mustard or olive.
Ooh, I like that. A pop of color can really liven things up. What about texture? I'm guessing that comes into play here too?
Oh, absolutely. The stylists emphasize choosing textures that complement the richness of that brown hue. So for fall and winter, she suggests tweed or wool. And then for spring and summer, you can go with those lighter fabrics like cotton or linen.
So many good options. This is making me totally rethink brown. And I'm assuming a touch of gold jewelry is always a good idea with brown, right?
You know it. Gold and brown are a perfect match.
Okay, before we wrap up this segment, I want to circle back to something that both the expert and the stylist kept emphasizing, the importance of fit when it comes to peplum dresses.
Yeah, they really drove that point home. I think it's easy to forget how much the right fit can make or break an outfit, especially with a peplum.
So true. They both really stressed that the dress should highlight your waist without feeling too tight or uncomfortable.
It's all about finding that balance between structure and comfort.
Exactly. And they also encourage listeners to, not be afraid to get their peplum dresses tailored for that perfect fit.
That's great advice. A well-fitting dress can make you feel so much more confident.
So before we move on to part 3, let's just take a minute to reflect on what we've learned so far about styling peplum dresses for the office. Okay, we started by really breaking down that power of structure, and how a well-fitted peplum dress can create flattering and confidence-boosting silhouettes.
And we talked about how peplum isn't just for one body type or style. There's a peplum dress out there for everyone.
Then we dove into the world of color and explored the unique qualities of black, navy, and brown, and how each one can be styled to make a statement at work.
And of course, we talked about accessorizing, layering, and playing with textures to really personalize the look.
We've covered a lot. But before we head to part 3, where we'll explore even more styling tips and tricks, we want to leave you with a thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
Think about the image you want to project at work. What kind of message do you want to send with your clothes?
Do you want to come across as, confident and in charge? Or maybe approachable and friendly? Or even stylish and trendy?
Once you have that image in mind, you can start to build a wardrobe that reflects it. And as we've learned, peplum dresses can be an awesome tool for creating that professional image.
I'm already planning my next peplum outfit.
Me too. We'll be back soon with part 3 of our peplum deep dive. Until then, keep experimenting with your style and see what peplum possibilities you can discover. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We're wrapping up our peplum journey today, and honestly, I am so inspired. Like all these different possibilities we've been talking about, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's been fun. We've covered a lot of ground, structure, colors, how to style them. But now I'm thinking okay, what about those next level peplum strategies for really owning this look at work? You know what I mean?
Like beyond the basics. I'm all ears.
So the stylist, she was really big on this idea of balancing the volume of the peplum with the rest of your look. She was saying you don't want to be overwhelmed by fabric, especially if you're working with one of those more dramatic peplum.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. It's all about proportion.
Yes. Exactly.
So if you have a dress with a really full peplum, a lot of volume,
yeah,
keep everything else streamlined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Simple jewelry, sleek handbag, classic pumps.
Got it. So let the peplum be the star.
Yes, let it shine.
Okay. But what about if the peplum is more subtle? Do you have more freedom with accessorizing then?
Oh, absolutely. You can play around a little more with a bolder necklace, maybe a patterned scarf. Even a statement belt. Have some fun with it.
I love that. So it's all about finding the right balance for you.
Yes.
And the expert, I remember they mentioned shoes being a really crucial part of pulling off the peplum look. What kind of shoes were they into?
Pointed toe heels. Big fan. Because, they elongate the legs, create that nice streamlined silhouette.
Right. Very flattering.
Very flattering.
But what about those of us who aren't always in the mood for heels? What were the thoughts there?
They said it totally depends, on the style of the dress, the vibe you're going for. They mentioned, flats, ankle boots, even, chic sneakers.
Oh, sneakers. Okay.
Yeah, if your office is a little more casual.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good reminder that there's not just, one right way to do peplum.
Totally. You can make it your own.
Speaking of making it your own, let's talk layering.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, I always feel like layering a peplum dress can be kind of tricky.
Yeah, it can be. Do you remember the tips the stylist had?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
was really good about this. She was like, find a layering piece that hits at the right spot.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want your jacket or cardigan ending right at the widest part of the
Oh,
peplum.
yeah, because then it's like,
It creates like a weird bulge.
yes, exactly. Been there, done that. Not cute.
Not cute. She said, aim for like above or below the peplum. Creates a nicer line.
Oh, yeah, much better.
Okay, and then I was just thinking, we've talked a lot about solid colors, but what about prints and patterns? Did they have any thoughts on those?
Oh, yeah. They're not anti-print.
Okay, good.
They were like, Peplum doesn't have to be boring. There are florals, stripes, polka dots. Like, the options are out there.
So many options.
Mm-hmm.
But are they harder to style for work, do you think?
I mean, she did have one word of caution. She's like, pick a print you love. But then keep the rest of your look pretty simple. You don't want to clash.
Makes sense. Solid accessories, solid shoes.
Yeah, just keep it balanced. Keep it professional.
Okay, good advice. And, we've covered so much in this deep dive, but like before we say goodbye to Peplum, I think we should come back to that idea of confidence.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, you can have the best outfit in the world, but if you don't feel good in it,
It shows.
it totally shows.
And both the expert and the stylist talked about how Peplum dresses can actually be this like amazing confidence booster because they're, designed to make you feel good.
Yes. Embrace those curves. Embrace your
Darn.
style.
Love it. So I guess our final takeaway as we wrap up, don't be afraid to experiment with Peplum. Make it your own. Whether you love classic black, elegant navy, warm brown, or you're like me, you're simply obsessed with the